tightly sealed container box of Yamashita gold bars. If you happen to finally uncover a certain treasure deposit, contained inside tightly sealed containers, then it is important for you to know that they most likely contain poisonous gas. Opening such containers while you are deep inside a tunnel or hole that you dug must be completely avoided. It's because if you open the container while you are deep inside a tunnel or hole, and then it happens that there is a poison gas that leaked out, it will only take a few seconds for the air inside to get contaminated. As a result, you won't even have the chance to escape or run outside for safety. Thus, I highly recommend that tightly sealed containers must always be carefully lifted or carried outside before opening them. In relation to a tightly sealed container box, let me share you one of our experience back on 2015. Our site was composed of thick bushes, with several large trees around. And according to the owner of the land, his father claimed that he witnessed the Japanese Imperial Army dug one large tunnel somewhere around. Inside this tunnel, they had hidden all of their cargoes before they left empty-handed. We had surveyed the entire area, but it seems so impossible to find the hidden entrance of the tunnel, due to the thick bushes. But to make the story short, we found the tunnel entrance, by luck. It was covered with large rocks, where we spent 3 days getting rid of them. We were actually surprised that the tunnel entrance was the only blocked portion. On the next day, we explored the tunnel. It was simply a straight tunnel that slightly goes downward. We followed it way down to the other end, which according to my estimate, it was about 50 meters distance. At the end, we found one tightly sealed container box. When we were about to carry it outside, the landowner objected. He persuaded us to leave the item from its original place, temporarily, just for one night, and we should take the time to celebrate on what we found. He really made us believe that no one will attempt to steal the treasure inside the tunnel. It was his own land, which makes him very familiar with his territory. Thus, we felt secured that the item will always be there, on its original place. When we woke up very late in the morning, we were completely shocked to see a lot of nearby residents gathered around our site, along with the authorities. As we went around asking, we came to know that the landowner just tricked us. What happened was that, during the night when we were all having a good night relaxing sleep, the landowner, together with his eldest son, secretly went inside the tunnel to retrieve the container box. The wife stayed behind to watch over us and make sure we won't be looking for them. But inside the tunnel, the father and son could not carry the container box by just the two of them. It was actually too heavy. So in my own opinion, they decided to open it so that they can carry the number of items that they can hold with their arms. This was probably their plan, but unfortunately, a gas leaked out from the container, and they both end up dead. Hours had passed, and the wife was getting worried. There were no signs about his husband and son that they got the job done, or they were okay. She knew that something was wrong, so he contacted their neighbors for help. their neighbors immediately went for a rescue mission, but when they entered the tunnel, hours passed, and they also never came back. We only got woke up when the residents started gathering around, and it got too noisy. As I went around, I overheard one conversation of a resident and an officer conducting the investigation. The resident claimed that there was a giant cobra living inside the tunnel. This might be true because, based on the features of the tunnel, it was naturally preserved, which offers perfect shelter for reptiles. However, what bothered me was that, why it did not attack us the other day, when we explored the tunnel. Maybe it wasn't interested to us. Anyway, the authorities called some kind of their own special unit, who were armed like they were going on a serious battle. But while preparing, one of my crew managed to sneak near the entrance of the tunnel, where he identified a very familiar scent. He immediately shouted and warned all the people around to back off, because it was a gas poison. We explained everything to the authorities what really happened, and thankfully, they believed us. So instead of sending their special unit, they sent another group of rescuers with proper equipment. Gladly, they were able to take the bodies out from the tunnel. One of the rescuers reported that he saw the container opened, and it was filled with gold bars. After the incident, we tried to push our luck with the authorities. We were trying to convince them if we can claim the treasures back, since we were the ones who found it in the first place. But according to them, we can't claim it because it will be used as proof or evidence about why the incident took place. We do understand that without it, it would be hard for anyone to believe on their written report, especially that Yamashita treasures are deemed by many as a myth. Moreover, we knew that there were other deposits inside the tunnel aside from the tightly sealed container box. So we were planning on doing some excavations inside the tunnel, but unfortunately, we were barred by the wife of the landowner, and all of the residents from coming to their place ever again. Did you enjoy watching my video? If yes, and if you are new to my channel, then you may want to subscribe, like this video, and hit the small notification bell icon. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon, you will receive alerts or notifications about my new published videos. If you want a reading material about treasure hunting, then you may want to visit my blogging website at treasurehunt.club. Thank you very much for watching, and happy treasure hunting.